Hey, what's going on? G-Dot family, we're back at it with another video, and we got the bear down. Okay, hold on. We do have the Bears draft results because the draft's pretty much over right now, and the draft is especially over with for the Bears. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. But the draft is over with for the Bears especially. So we're going to go through the depth chart, and we're also going to go through our draft picks, and we're going to talk about if this was a good draft or this was a bad draft. I personally think this was a really good draft. And people have to ease up on my boy Ryan Poles. My bad. So look, people got to ease up on Ryan Poles because last year he had a masterclass in the draft. Since Ben Johnson came here and then since he has taken over, really, he's been trying to churn and push things in the right direction. The Bears were pretty much a disgrace from really since Jay Cutler and Brandon Marshall left. That time when Jay Cutler got traded away until we got Mitch Trubisky, those were dark days. Then we got Mitch Trubisky, we were good for 1 year. Dark days. Then we got Justin Fields. We were never good. Dark days. Okay, he had to bring us back from all of that. That takes time. He's done that. Shout out to him. I respect it. Ben Johnson knows what he's doing. And then Dennis Allen also knows what he's doing on the defense. We got a solid team. We got to believe in our coaches, believe in our staff. Can I get a big one? But let's go ahead and get straight into it. We got Dylan Thiemann, safety from Oregon. Thiemann. I'm not sure how you say it exactly. Pardon me. He is a dog. I want to give another one. Phenomenal draft pick because we needed a safety, especially after getting rid of Byard and Brisker. We needed somebody to step in and play those roles. We got Kobe Bryant from the Seahawks who just went to the Super Bowl, and he has been a pretty solid safety. I would say he's an all-pro. I think he actually did get all-pro last year. If not, he's on his way to an all-pro, definitely. He's one of those ones, and you got to respect him because he does everything the right way. He's aggressive, he's fast, he's physical, he gets it done. So I like that, and I like his style of play. And to pair him with Dylan Thiemann, who's the exact same type of archetype. They're both good. They can both rotate in the box. They can both play downfield. They're both masters at their craft. I wouldn't say Dylan's a master yet, but Kobe can teach him and get him right. So I like what we're seeing so far because honestly, if you look at our safety position on our roster as well, let's go down to safety. We didn't really have anybody. Kobe Bryant and Garavis Owens, I'm not sure what that is. And then after that, it was Cam Lewis and Elijah Hicks. Not really rocking with that. So I like what we did and the direction we're going in with our safety room right now. So that was a good first pick. We're going to give a big, you know what I'm saying? I can't give a clap right now. I don't have that effect. I'm going to add that effect. Next, we have the center from Iowa, and this was definitely needed after Drew Dalman's retirement. The center is definitely, I don't want to say it's the most important position on the O-line, but it's the second most important position on the O-line. I would rank importance on the O-line, tackle, center, guard. Because if you have an elite tackle, you can at least make something work. If you got a trash guard, a trash tackle, but an elite center, it's going to be way harder for you. So I think this was a value pick, especially a round 2, number 57. I feel like this was somebody they had to get off the board because they needed to fill the main issues faster than the back end issues. I need to fill the main things now because I can get a D tackle in free agency. Okay, we're not talking about that, are we? I can go ahead and get a D tackle in the later rounds. I can't get a prime time center that I need right now, especially a young one who's just signed a guy, but I need someone I can mold and grow under him so I don't have to re-sign him to another contract, So we had to address that need very quickly, and we did that. So that's going to be a big. Gotta respect it. And if you also know anything about college football, you know that Iowa is known for their linemen and their tight ends. That's it. And defensive players, I'll give them that. The defense is always going to be, but yeah, linemen and tight ends coming out of Iowa, bro. Iowa linemen, always going to get my, vote of approval. We're going to go to our round 3 tight end, number 69 pick, Sam Rush. Now, a lot of people are also wondering, why the hell are we getting a tight end when we already got Cole Kmet and we have, I forgot his name, pardon me. Let's go to the roster really quickly because I do want to give him some praise. We have Colston Loveland. So why are we acting like we already don't have 2 tight ends? And we have another tight end, I believe. Who is it? It was going to be Stephen Carlson. Now, I'm not going to shit on Stephen Carlson, but I'm not really, we did need that third tight end because we're going to run a lot of 13 personnel. And with 13 personnel, you got 3 tight ends on the field. That's how we really get our bread and butter going because we can do play action out of that and we can also run heavy out of that. We're going to do a regular pass out of it. You're never going to be sure of what we're doing. That's how you want to keep it. When you put it in shotgun, you can't have the big bodies out there. So it's like, it doesn't really make sense all the time. Like, people know you're going to pass. You're more likely going to pass. But when you play a more 13 style run heavy personnel, it's going to be easier for you to get the ball up the field, but keep the defense on their toes. So I respect this pick. Sam Rush was definitely someone that other teams were were looking at, and they actually came out and said they were looking at him. I feel like he is a good value pick for round 3, number 69. And you also got to think about it. We already got our safety in the first round. We signed a linebacker in free agency. You know, D tackle. I'm not going to go high in the draft for a D tackle when I can go in higher on my offense. Who's already producing, and it need to have a young core. So we're going to keep it young. We're going to keep people fresh. Because that probably does mean that Cole Kmet might not get re-signed. But I wouldn't be super mad if Cole Kmet left if we still have Sam Rush. Now, do I want Cole Kmet to leave? Of course not. I love him. I feel like he's one of the best tight ends in the league. He just kind of got overshadowed by Colston Loveland, but still one of the best tight ends in the league, blocking and as an actual tight end, blocking and receiving. But we're gonna see how it goes down. Hopefully, Sam Rush is what he's stacked up to be. But this is more so a blocking tight end anyway. So we're gonna give a big, and then move on to the next one. The next pick, round 3, number 89, we have Xavier Thomas. Now, Xavier Thomas is a dog. He is one of those ones, and people are wondering, well, why are we gonna go and get a wide receiver when we already have? Excuse me, I know. I just want to make sure I'm naming everyone that's in our wide receiver right now. Rome Odunze, Luther Burden, Khalif Raymond, Ja'Day Walker, and J.P. Richardson. I'll tell you why. Because we didn't have a number 3 receiver for Khalif Raymond is more of a return specialist, and he can play receiver. But that third receiver position is going to be wide open for the taking between Ja'Day Walker, Xavier Thomas, and Khalif Raymond. Now, personally, I feel like they should give Ja'Day the shot at the position. But I feel like Xavier Thomas is going to come in and bring some more finesse to the position, but also going to bring some more competition to the position, because you can never have too much competition. You know what I'm saying? Some people's spots are secure for sure. Rome, but if Rome look over and see Luther going crazy, Rome's gonna be like, okay, I gotta get it together. If Caleb's in a room and he sees Tyson Bagent on more than him, and he seems like making better passes than him, that's gonna inspire him. So you got to keep the heat on at all times. So I like this pick. I think it's a very good pick, and it was just also a lot of defensive players on the board that were not getting drafted. I don't know if you were paying attention to the draft at all. If you were paying attention to the draft, there's a lot of players, good players, that weren't getting drafted at positions or spots that we thought they were supposed to get drafted. So there's a lot of value left to be seen, because everybody didn't need to fill the same spots that we needed to fill. So you got to pay attention to that too. Believe in the coaching staff. Believe in the coaching staff. Now, what we're gonna do next is we're gonna. I didn't get a big for Xavier Thomas. I like his game at LSU. He's like a mini Tyreek Hill, super fast, very physical, but he's short. Short, shifty, smart. I'm loving it. Love that pick. Now we got Malik Muhammad from Texas. This is a dog right here. We needed that as well. Can never have too much depth in that cornerback room, because if you look at the corners that we have right now, it was just Tyreek Stevenson, Dallas Flowers, Jalen Johnson, Jalen Jones, and Terrell Smith is hurt. He's questionable right now. But he's probably going to be, he's going to be good by the season beginning. Then at nickel, we had Kyler Gordon and Josh Blackwell. Now, nickel, we're going to swap in and out pretty good on. But we definitely needed another corner to come behind Tyreek Stevenson, because Jalen Johnson is our lockdown. Jalen Johnson is that guy. So he's going to play the left corner. He's going to lock the main receiver down. Now, Tyreek Stevenson is good, but we need some more competition in this room. We need someone that's a proven ball hawk like Malik Muhammad that can come in and put light of fire under Tyreek Stevenson, or come in and take the position for himself. Maybe even get some starting roles, starting play at nickel. No offense to Kyler Gordon, but he might, it's just, you want to keep the competition thriving, but you also want to have depth. That's what the draft is really for, because you can't just sign all these guys, because it gets to a point when you sign somebody in the NFL, you know what you're getting. When you sign a rookie, you know what you're getting, yeah, but you don't know, because he can be better or worse. So you're just kind of betting on it. It's like going to the gambling house instead of just going to the, I don't even know what to compare that to. But you get what I'm trying to say. So we're going to give a big for the Malik Muhammad draft. Now, also, what I'm going to say is for this linebacker, I'm not too familiar with his game personally. But I will say this is a good pick for us, because we did just get rid of Tremaine Edmonds. So our linebacker room was kind of looking a little. We got Devin Bush, great hire, great sign. TJ Edwards, you know what I'm saying? That's cool. I rock with TJ. DeMarco Jackson, and then we got Noah Sewell, Ruben Hippolyte, pardon me. Jack Sanborn, I think we just drafted him, and Keyshawn Elliott, that's his name, right? Keyshawn Elliott. Better go to Elliott. Nefi Sewell, and then we had Jack Samuel. So we needed that depth in the middle linebacker position, definitely. And I feel like he can come in, he can probably compete with Noah. You know, Noah's a good back, but you know, it's going to push the room farther. We just need some depth at that position because if we have 3 linebackers for the will, 3 linebackers for the forgot his name, damn. The S, I forgot that. Sam linebacker came back to me. Got that one. But the middle linebacker position definitely needs that depth as well. So I feel like this is a good signing, and I believe in my GM and I believe in my coach enough, especially my defensive coordinator, to let me know if someone's a good player or not a good player. You know, just based off the tape. And then Jordan Van Denberg. I don't know if you saw his tape at Georgia Tech. I watched a few Georgia Tech games this year, especially when they were undefeated at the beginning of the year and they were like pretty much whooping ass. It was a fun team to watch. They whooped Colorado. I watched that game, you know, because I am a Colorado fan. And let me tell you something. He is a dog. He is somebody that's gonna have a high motor, physical, smart, gets the job done. He's got a little finesse for his size too. I like it. So I'm rocking with those. I'm rocking with this pick, and we got the D tackle that we've been needing because if we look at our D tackle slots, we got Montez Sweat. That's an end. You know, still D line. Jeremiah Martin, D tackle Grady Jarrett, Neville Gilmore, James Lynch, and then we just got our signing. The right D tackle, we had Gervon Dexter Sr., Shamar Turner, and Kentavious Sweat. I feel like it's just a good depth piece. We can rotate in and out because on the D line, you always want to have people that you can rotate. Like your ends can stay, but your tackles got to get rotated. So I feel like it's good to have him rotate in, and then we could probably sign another D tackle maybe for some depth. I don't think we will, but at the end of the day, when the roster comes out for the full season, I don't think some of these guys are going to be here. Not saying I want anyone to not be here, but I don't think this is going to be the final roster anyway. So I feel like for what they did and what it's worth, the draft went very well. We stressed our needs very fast. We got some more pickup on offense to make our offense go smoother and help Caleb Williams out. And we also got some pickups on defense that are going to prove to be very useful to us because we already signed a safety. You know, don't forget about that. Drafted the safety, signed the linebacker. Now we're going to go ahead and drafted the D tackle. We drafted the linebacker and drafted the corner. Can't be mad at that. So I'm very happy with that. That was that draft gets my full approval, and I'm glad that the Bears are in a position to not just draft like everything, because it was a point in time where we just needed everything. Well, now we can draft specific needs. And I'm very happy to be, because this is an amazing field. Because back in the day, it was bad.